Thought. Thought alone has been the one tool to help humanity survive as a species. It as well as the most powerful tool, utility, and weapon we have. To put that into perspective, thought alone gave an identity to the thing that creates it, the brain. Mother Nature decided to grace us with the gift of being able to think about a situation and contemplate the best course of action. No other animal on Earth has been observed to do this without being trained or scientifically altered first. Thought. There was a man that lived a few thousand years ago who was executed for crimes that a lot of people today don't believe he should have been executed for. He was executed based on the premise that he claimed to be a king, but was rejected by the Romans because he didn't fulfill any prophecies that they had set in place. Beaten, tortured, and eventually killed, he unintentionally began what is now the most widely practiced religion in the world. His name was Jesus. One man, one way of thinking, laid the foundations for Christianity. Thought. After recovering from an injury he received in World War I, Adolf Hitler began the movement that would be the cause for the most horrid act of genocide in humanity's history. Placing the blame on the Jewish people for Germany's economic downfall and their loss in World War I, Hitler reignited Germany's economy and gave the German people pride for their country once more. For 12 years, the Nazis killed countless and sought supremacy all across the world, all because of the words and thinking of one man. Thought. Today, acts such as those committed by the Nazis or the Romans wouldn't go unnoticed. Countries would call for some kind of order and demand that those who committed such acts be brought to justice. However, recently in the Middle East, a group that calls themselves ISIS, or the Islamic State, have risen up and taken portions of Iraq and as well neighboring countries by storm. They seek to intimidate other countries by filming videos of executions and posting them online. They believe that if you do not follow their beliefs, you aren't fit to live. But when it comes to religion, it ultimately falls to humans to how it's interpreted. For example, people who are homosexual and practice Christianity believe that God will love them anyways, despite a large portion of Christians thinking otherwise. There also has not been a single religion that has remained the same since it was first created. The Holy Bible, for example, has been rewritten and manipulated throughout time to suit different people's political gains. Another example of this is ISIS. They say they are doing Allah's work by either killing or converting those not of the Muslim faith, when in actuality, according to the Quran, the Muslim faith preaches wellness and hospitality towards others. Are they right in what they're doing? Maybe. They think so, at least. Thought. Dating back as far as the Greeks, slavery has been a part of humanity's history for longer than we care to remember. The ideology that goes along with slavery is that because you are of the minority or are weaker, you are fair game to anyone in power to take control of. This was most notably seen with African Americans. Going back as far as the 1700s, African Americans were bought and sold as a commodity by one man who is now renowned as a hero by the American people. All American people know his name and image, George Washington. Today, Americans believe that everyone is to be treated equal no matter the color of your skin or the faith you follow. In Washington's time, it was very different. It can be inferred that he meant all white men are created equal. In present times, racism is seen less but still remains the topic for a lot of arguments and crimes. Old tendencies and hatreds do die hard after all. It's sad to think something as minor as a difference in color or being not of the majority can lay the foundations for generations of hatred and a way of thinking. Thought. Politics, hatred, greed, deception. Everything humans do or succumb to is a matter of thinking and acting. In times like these, we witness horrid acts of brutality or inequality and sometimes think to ourselves, why? Why can't hatred or inequality or greed or racism just go away? Why can't we have peace? Well, if only everyone thought that way.